It's that time of year again.
You know what it is. It's the most wonderful time of year.
School. Everybody's rushing to the stores to buy stuff. We have to buy stuff. We have a whole list of stuff. Yesterday, us and 100 other parents was at Walmart buying Kleenex boxes, printer papers for the teachers, and Crayola, and pens, notebooks, folders, backpacks, shoes, everything. And we got to thinking, like, what's going on? What's going on in the UK? What are they doing for school? Do you guys have to do that? You know what? We're gonna watch this video. This video is called British Schools Explained. So we get a better understanding of the British school system, because obviously it's very different than the American school system. This is by Anglophenia, and we're gonna watch this. In any questions, we're gonna have questions at the end of this. So stick around to the end of the video, because you might be able to answer some of our questions. All right, let's jump into the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're almost to 20.
And the hype button.
And the hype button. We're almost to 20,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Let's get into the video.
Hi, I'm Siobhan Thompson and this is Anglophenia. Now, many of the most beloved stories from the UK are set in schools, all the way from Tom Brown's School Days to Harry Potter and the History Boys. But the British school system is remarkably different from that in the US, so much so that it's often the first thing that Americans ask me to explain to them. So, here is the Cliff's Notes version of how the British school system works, but study up because there's going to be an exam at the end of the video.
Okay.
Lovely.
Public schools and state schools. What Americans call private schools are called public schools in the UK, and what you call public schools, we call state schools. There are also some private schools that don't call themselves public schools, they call themselves private or independent schools, but most of the ones that Americans are thinking about, you know, where people live in a mansion and wear a very silly uniform, are called public schools. Got it?
I don't got that.
No.
So we have a couple of different schools here. We have private school, public school, which is what you guys would consider state school. And then we have another weird one. What's that one?
Like boarding school?
No. Everybody has boarding school. And boarding school always seemed like a rumor, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I still don't believe that's real.
School. That was a threat as a child.
Yeah.
If you don't act right, you're going to get sent to
I was
boarding
always
school.
told that.
No, there's the one here in America that's not quite a private school, but not quite a, like, you know, the Villages, right? The biggest retirement community.
Charter school?
Charter school. That's what it is. So the way that works is the only way you can go to that school, which is basically a public school, a family member has to work in the Villages.
Yeah.
So you got public school, private school, and charter school.
And homeschool.
And homeschool, which that's available everywhere.
Most state schools these days are comprehensives, meaning that they accept students of every academic ability, but there was a system that's still in place in some areas of secondary modern and grammar schools. There, kids take a test at 11 to see what type of school they'll go to, the grammar schools being more academic and the secondary moderns more vocational.
What?
Yeah.
Most state schools these days are comprehensives, meaning that they accept students of every academic ability, but there was a system that's still in place in some areas of secondary modern and grammar schools. There, kids take a test at 11 to see what type of school they'll go to, the grammar schools being more academic and the secondary moderns more vocational.
So we have those kind of here, like technical institutes.
Yeah.
Like you could either, but I don't know, she said in grade 11?
Yeah. No, I think, did she say grade 11 or 11 years old?
I don't know, because I'm thinking like, okay, like in here you have high school, and then once you graduate high school, you can go to like a university. Like here we got the University of Florida. We have community colleges, stuff like that. You can go to these places, but also you could go into more of a technical school, which could be for welding, mechanics.
Which we call vocational schools.
Would we call that vocational? Yeah, that would, but we call them like, you know, technical institutes or something like that, because they're, you know, more into machineries and stuff like that.
Well, you could go to like just like a beauty school too.
Yeah.
So that would be
vocational.
Yeah. So then it would just be you're learning that.
Which is
trade.
Weird, because in modern times, like when I was going to high school, right, everybody was like, get tech, go to a tech thing because tech's big. And now, the time that we live in now, everybody here in America is like, you need to go to a vocational school because like a tech guy's getting paid nothing because AI has taken over, but people are paying big money for plumbers.
Yeah.
Plumbers, like physical labor is where the money they're expected. Things that computers can't do themselves is where in America, that's a chat to say, hey, this is what you need to be in. So I don't know. I guess I'm ahead of the curve here.
Church schools. There's no separation of church and state in the UK, so many schools, both state and public, are church schools. Oddly, this doesn't translate into later church attendance, which is much lower in the UK than in the US. Sort of like how most people don't use algebra after the age of 18, I guess.
Most private schools in the United States are church-based schools. Majority of the private schools around our area, I'm not going to say all of them because I don't know one that's not. Normally, a private school in America is usually some type of church school. And I say church school, but it could be multiple religions. Like there's Jewish schools.
Yeah, just as long as it's to
there's
some sort of religion.
There's Islamic schools down in Orlando.
Religious school.
Yeah, religious schools. Most private schools here are of religious base, which is weird because like you see that all the time that British people, and I know like one of the things that surprised us was British people, a lot of them is not very religious. At the same time, they know just like tons of hymns.
Yeah.
That's so funny. They know tons of hymns.
Uniforms. Pretty much all schools have some kind of uniform, ranging from a school jumper all the way up to the white tie and tails that they wear at Eton. The idea behind it is to create a sense of identity and school pride. See? Still fits. Prefects. In British...
That's something that we love about going to the UK. Obviously, we've never filmed it because that's weird. And if you go to the UK, don't film it either because that's weird. Just take a peek and laugh because it's so cute to watch these little 5 or 6 year olds and 7 and 8 year olds walking in line with their little uniforms on.
I loved it. That's one of the
so
biggest things that upsets me about most American schools. Is they don't have strict uniforms like that. Like I want the strict uniform where it's the blazer jacket or whatever. Like the dressier, the preppier looking, the better.
Yeah, Tiffany would rule a school with an iron fist. You're looking at Miss Trunchbull right here. Is what Tiffany would be. Tiffany would be Miss Trunchbull in a school. If you ever never seen the movie Matilda, watch that. That you're going to see what Tiffany would be.
Prefects. In British schools, older students can be chosen to be prefects. Being a prefect sounds super cool, but in reality it mostly entails policing the lunch line and stopping the younger kids from hitting each other. You do get a cool badge though, so that's something. Most schools also have a head boy and a head girl who attend school council meetings and give a speech at prize giving at the end of the year. Oh, prize giving is the closest thing that we have to a graduation ceremony. Exams. National exams are a huge part of the British school experience. It's all very simple. You take GCSEs at 16 and then A-levels at 18, which are kind of like AP exams, but different. Also, in Scotland, they study for Highers instead of A-levels, and GCSEs used to be called O-levels. Also, AS levels happen in the middle of A-levels. Look, this is the most complicated bit, I promise. Revision. This is just what we call studying for exams. It's not a biggie, just a lot of people seemed confused about it. Revision. This is...
So in America, we have the standardized state tests, which here in Florida, what was it called in New Jersey? Here it was called the FCAT, which stood for Florida Comprehension Assessment Test.
It was, oh man, I can't remember. NJ something.
NJ something.
I don't know. I can't remember.
So basically you would have that up.
I'm going to Google it later.
You would have that up, and it's a very controversial test because it's not really an assessment of the student. You just have to pass it. It's more of an assessment of the school.
Yeah, to see if the school actually did their job in teaching the kids anything.
It's a very controversial type test. Most private schools do not do that test. They'll do final exams, and then when you go into high school, your junior year, you will take a practice SAT and a practice ACT. I could not wrap my head around what was the difference between those two tests. They was both college acceptance tests, but the SAT held more power, but you had to take both. I don't know if you look it up. I don't know the answer for that.
Just what we call studying for exams. It's not a biggie, just a lot of people seemed confused about it. Juniors and seniors. Instead of the American system of elementary school, middle school and so on, most British schools are divided into juniors and seniors. Junior school, also called primary school, is for 4 to 11-year-olds, and senior school is for 11 to 18-year-olds. At some public schools, they divide it up a little differently. They have pre-prep from 4 to 7, prep from 7 to 13, and then senior from 13 to 18. Sixth form.
Okay, in America, you have pre-K, which is pre-kindergarten, which is a German name. I don't know if you guys use that or not. I don't know if you know that's kinder.
I can't hear
Kids, gardens, like gathering place or something like that. So you have kindergarten.
Pre-K is 4-year-old.
But from kindergarten to 5th grade is elementary school. From 6th grade to...
But you're not telling them the ages.
You can't go into all that. You start at 5 in kindergarten. And then just add a year for each one. So when you're in 1st grade, you're 6.
No, I'm just saying 5 to what is...
That's why we ain't got the time for that. I can't do that type of math. That's basic math. Do you understand that? I can't do that. So no, you do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think 10 years old, you're in 5th grade.
Yeah, 10-year-old, you're in 5th grade. 11 to 12, you're in 6. 13 to 14. Let's restart this. So 5 to 6, you're in kindergarten. 7 to 8, you're in 1st
No,
grade.
you're wanting to go through every single thing. I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm trying to do the math. What is it? 5 to 11 is, 5 to 10 is elementary school. 5 to 11, or 5 to 10 is usually elementary school.
Elementary school is kindergarten through 5th grade, which is 5 to 11. And then middle school is 6th grade to 8th grade, which is like 11 to 13 or 12 to 13.
14 your freshman year because you turn 15, and that's when you get your learner's permit.
Yeah.
Not anymore though. They've raised the drive. When I was in high school, you took driver's ed freshman year, and yeah, it was driver's ed is offered. At least it was in our school.
Well, our school it was offered, but it wasn't offered till 10th grade because in New Jersey you got to be 16.
Oh, see, it was 15 here in Florida, so you got your learner's permit at 15, which, that changed within a few years, so you probably, but yeah. And then that's in high school, which is 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th, is freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Sixth form. The last 2 years of school is called the sixth form, divided into the lower sixth and upper sixth. The name is a hangover from a previous, more complicated system of naming classes which has stuck around for some reason. In many schools, sixth formers are given a lot more freedom than the other students, often being allowed to wear their own clothes instead of school uniform. Cool. University. You apply to do a single subject at British universities and only study that one thing. No maths or language requirements or any of that other stuff that you have to do at American colleges. Bachelor's degrees generally take 3 years, and you know what, let's just cover this in another video, it's very complicated. So there we go. Are there any things about British schools that you have?
British school seems so much funner. It doesn't seem funner. It seems like, I don't know, more well-rounded than our school.
It's just very structured and planned, seeming, which I don't expect any less. Of course, the UK school is going to be like that.
Yeah, I'm not talking down about American school. I'm sure you guys are going to do that in the comments section.
Yeah.
But it does seem like I did like that idea of being practical and sending somebody to a vocational school, which is kind of taboo here. And I like the idea of, okay, once this person reaches university, they need to study the thing. And I'm sure it's probably not just that thing. I'm sure they're going along with everything that goes along with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure if somebody's like, oh, I want to be an archaeologist of Egyptian history, they're taking a couple of classes that surround that area. As to where in America, you would be like, okay, I want to be an archaeologist. And they're like, okay, you got to take 2 classes for that, but you got to take 4 classes of math,
Unrelated things.
Yeah. But so it seems like, well, I guess after, over 1,000 years of existence, you probably got these things battened down a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Oxford there that's been here longer than the Aztec Empire. So if anybody should know how to do schools, it's definitely the UK.
Yeah.
You guys do school good.
So a couple quick questions. Couple quick questions is what is more popular, state schools or private schools, public schools over there? Or is it pretty, equal? And then my other question is how big is homeschool over there? Because I know we didn't talk about it on that, but homeschool's grown like crazy in the US. So I'm just curious, is it grown over there too? Or is that not really a thing?
And was school lunches bad or good?
Yeah, what about lunch?
Yeah, what do you guys eat for lunch at school lunch?
Oh, and another one. What about dropping out? Is that acceptable? Are you allowed? Is it legal? In America, I think you have to legally go to school till you're 16.
Yeah. And here's a pop quiz for you. I'm not even going to answer it. I'm not going to answer it. One of us went to private school and one of us went to public school. Can you guess which one did? All right, guys, I'm Rich.
And I'm Tiffany.
These are our Patreons who help us do these things and help us go on adventures. And thank you for that. If you want to be a Patreon, check down below. All right, guys, that was British schools.